Hello, I'm Anawiltos, and welcome back to another episode of Zero AD Replays for the Alpha 22 Venustas, or Venustas, depending on which dialect you're speaking. And right here we have BB Left against Map KOC, and let's get right into the game. So I skip back to 30 seconds before we left off previously, just so that you can see those extra moments. I guess you could consider it a recap. But we are now seeing this castle being repaired by BB Left over here, and oh, almost had a game crash there. I don't know what happened. I guess it's my computer getting used to the game speed. Question is Map KOC going to keep up with only having this artillery instead of having a full-blown defensive building? I guess that is what we will be finding out later on. Nice lads there. And fortress is being repaired, and it is, of course, pushing out some armored war elephants. A very powerful unit. Interesting. No preference has been made here. But a house is actually being built, and in fact it is being built farther away than the fortress itself. I don't know if that is the best course of action, but of course that house might actually be a bait for the siege engines, which are now making their way toward these houses instead of attacking the fortress. I think that might actually be a solid strategy now that I think about it. Let's see, of course, Map KOC has dealt very well with these attacks, as is to be expected. And here goes Map KOC building a fortress and a blacksmith. And what is this? A house. Holy cannoli. Question is, will these constructions prove fruitful as the game goes on? I guess that is something we're all going to find out. And is BB Left going to be able to finish this fortress and therefore be able to put out double fortress, which is going to be a significant advantage going farther out into the game? And Map KOC has finished the fortress, as well as BB Left now with two fortresses. No extra buildings running interference here, but it is interesting to see this. Another siege tower being sent out. Damage is being dealt to this fortress quite rapidly, and it's down. That's not a fun time, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Map KOC over here has held on to this fortress and defeated the enemy at the same time. But BB Left is right at it again, rebuilding the fortress just as quickly as it was torn down. Well, maybe not. Well, I don't know. I guess we'd have to compare the speed in the replay. I could do that in post, but you know what? I'm not going to. But if you do feel compelled to do that, then I recommend that you rewind to that point where we saw the fortress being attacked and count the seconds, or the milliseconds if you want to be really accurate, to when it was rebuilt. Now, of course, now that I think about it, you might not have all the information there, since I did move between the players looking at things, so it might not necessarily have been apparent. Let's take a look at resources. Map KOC ahead on food, but BB Left ahead on wood. Map KOC and BB Left being about the same on stone, and BB Left ahead on metal. And population-wise, Map KOC definitely has the advantage in troops. let's go back to observer and let's observe this wave attack. Everything seems to be going all right over here, and I guess this is a solid strategy to build some interference here. But look at that cavalry going in, destroying those siege towers and obstructing their paths, which is very interesting, and also capturing them, which is an interesting strategy here. I'd say probably a very useful strategy, if you ask me.
Yeah,
so there you go. You've got 2 siege towers there. The fortress remains intact, and it looks like a couple buildings were destroyed, and a few troops died, but for the most part, things are all right. Let's take a look. Trip-wise, Matco C is up again, and I guess we're going to see how that turns out in the end. And look at that. Map KOC. No, BB. Yeah, Map KOC. Sorry. I was getting confused in my head for a moment there. But the question is, will this pay off? This armored war elephant strategy, or perhaps this Perioikoi cavalryman strategy. Perioikoi, interestingly, a social class in the Spartan society, because Spartans were divided into classes. Oh, what is this? Those are some fast siege rams. Look at them go. Cutting down those buildings. The fortress is taking damage and is under attack. And they are converging. Yes, they are converging. Fortress is damaged, but intact. And this fortress is down. So it does seem to me that Matko definitely is more efficient at killing the Gaia invaders. That seems to be what I see here. Persida's is at 1,000. Okay. Well, I guess they do heal him up. And the fortress is being rebuilt, though, so that's an interesting thing to think about. And there it is. Another food treasure being taken by Map KOC. Map KOC probably moving toward this other food treasure. And the artillery is unpacking. No additional buildings are built. The fortress is not being repaired, which might be a problem. Or is it that you just don't have many people to repair? Because if I were BB Left right now, I would be trying to repair everything possible. Because if the front line breaks, if this fortress goes down, then they'll go straight for this fortress, and if this fortress goes down, then BB Left is in some big trouble. Siege Ram has not reached the target, but the elephants are on the fortress. Siege Ram has reached its target over here, but was defeated before taking down seriously. However, this fortress has fallen once again. The question is, will BB Left be able to overcome this resource inefficiency? think that's an important question to ask. And a new bunch of treasures have appeared in the center. Both players are moving to pick up whatever they can. A second fortress is not being built. This could mean that there is a decline in BB11's forces. But the battering ram, no, 2 battering rams have made it through. Let's take a look. Yeah, see? Taking some heavy damage, but they're taking down those siege engines. And of course, Map KOC with this genius strategy of capturing whatever siege engines Map KOC can. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, could this be Map KOC is perhaps trying to gain resources? That could be. I don't know. But Map KOC definitely got a lot of things going. BB Left is actually down and below 100 now in units trained. So that is a bit problematic. But BB Left is building some houses in the front to potentially capture the opponent's attack. House is being built, potentially for the same reason. But another reason for this could be to allow for the training of more hoplites. So these houses could perform a dual purpose of both drawing attack as well as increasing the population cap. These are simple war elephants trying to make it past the front line, but they're not getting into the action very well. However, this one has attacked the fortress. Siege engines are unpacking, but some of them are being captured. But they are dealing some heavy damage. Looks like this one will be useful for continuing to counter that. Oh no! BB Left has lost the fortress. This is not a good day for BB Left. Question is, will BB Left be able to defend adequately without having these fortifications? That is a question I think that we're all going to have to ask. Because when the next attack comes through, I guess we're going to have to watch carefully to see if it goes past the front lines and starts tearing down some of these more important buildings. Because that could be problematic. Of course, BB Left is not slacking off and is getting whatever resources BB Left can get. Meanwhile, Map KOC is fixing up the fortress. Oh boy, that doesn't look good for BB Left. But it looks like they all got hung up on the front line because they aren't as maneuverable as some of the small ones. BB Left has surrendered under the immense pressure. And look at that, those chariots going right in for it. So let's take a look at the closing situation. Nice icons, by the way. Military leaks, Map KOC definitely got the big military score here. And I can see that because Map KOC was definitely more efficient at killing off the invaders directly without having to rely on buildings to soak up attack as much. So that, of course, also led to Map KOC having a much larger total score. Buildings Matt KOC and BB Left actually had more buildings constructed overall, but of course lost much more because of inefficiency in being able to defend those buildings. Houses, Matt KOC had more houses and more economic buildings, but BB Left produced more military buildings, and over the course of a game, BB Left built 4 fortresses. Each one of them was destroyed. Matt KOC successfully constructed 1, and it remained till the end of the game. Units. BB Left trained less units than Matt KOC, and throughout the game had less units as well, which could be an indicator of BB Left's disadvantage throughout the game, as BB Left also lost more units than Matt KOC, which indicates that BB Left was a lot less efficient in using those units. Of course, Matt KOC managed to capture several units as well, and infantry-wise, Matt KOC had a lot of infantry. BB Left had a lot of workers. Cavalry-wise, Matt KOC definitely had the upper hand in cavalry, using those skirmisher cavalry, and also had a lot of champions. So I guess the unit quality is really showing here. Siege engines were very important as well to get that back row support in attacking the front, and not much opportunity to gather resources, but treasures were collected by both players, and it looks like Matt KOC was in the end more successful at acquiring those treasures, and also had more loot overall. Markets, BB Left exchanged more food, exchanged more wood, didn't exchange as much stone, but it definitely exchanged more metal, and had a greater barter efficiency overall, but in the end that did not lead to a win. Vegetarian ratio, not really relevant to this game. Feminization, D-Shark S4 actually had some women out there. KD ratio, Matt KOC had a pretty, well, it's not the best, let's be honest, but it's better than anybody else's. I don't know. Anyway, map-wise, exploration 100%, map control, D-Shark S4 didn't really make it all the way to the city phase, and economy score, no, let's take a look at military score. Buildings, very relevant here. Here you see BB Left building a bunch of buildings throughout the game. And of course, Map KOC had more units overall, and resources. Let's take a look at the loot. So it looks like Map KOC was overall throughout most of the game more efficient in gathering the loot. So that's interesting in getting that loot, that is. Anyway, I think that's it. Tell me what you thought in the comments section below, and I will be seeing you all next time on Wiltos Over and Out.